Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how to winterize your hives. You don't need any kind of insulation, black tar, paper, so on. This is of course for relatively mild climate. Let's say in the winter temperatures, they don't go around 20 or 30 degrees Fahrenheit or below -10 Celsius. So if you are somewhere in northern Russia, Scandinavia, northern England or Canada, you may have to consider some different things. So let's begin. So one of the things you need to know that in this season, winterizing, we start doing this from late summer to early fall, is that you need proper protection, of course. That's why, because even if you have the calmest bees ever, in this time of the year they are very aggressive because the nectar flow and the pollen flow is very low, and they tend to be aggressive. If you open the hive without smoke, without sugar syrup, without clothing their thing, you are trying to attack them and to steal their honey. And I'll show you why. I have the perfect example. Actually, now we have a yellow jacket, infestation here, an attack. Let me show you. So these are some of my hives. White, yellow, white, blue, white, and a blue. What I was saying is that this time of the year, the bees are with the reason aggressive, because this one has yellow jacket attack infestation, but the beehive is actually pretty tough. This is a 10 frame hive. I left the supers on it because it helps them go through winter. And as you see here, there's some yellow jackets running around, and they are trying to get this delicious honey. But this colony is very tough and they'll get them. Over this side, however, I have a hive which I caught from a swarm a few days ago, and it's pretty unusual to get swarm at this time of the year, but the weather is weird after all. So you can see these are all wasps, yellow jacks. These are not bees. They're trying to get inside, and what I did to stop them from killing the bees and taking all the honey is I closed the upper entrance, as you see there, put a little level there just to make sure nothing will move it. There's a mouse guard, and the mouse guard actually has another entrance reducer. I didn't put it inside because I was urgent. Some are getting to what, I'll actually close it a little bit more. And what I did is, next to the entrance I put this very simple yellow jacket trap. There are many trapped inside. I will show you how to make it, but this is actually the quickest one. I made it for around 2 minutes. So it's actually a bottle cut in half. Mostly I cut the top part, and as you see, they get from inside, and it's very hard for them to find a small opening. Some may exit, but most of them will run it. And you see, this is from yesterday. You get flies and you get so on. So bees don't get inside. It's very hard for them to get inside because the entrance is from the top. Yeah, so I put this right there. I'll show you better traps, bigger traps, because this one got around a few hundred wasps. Nearly not enough. As you see, they keep coming and they keep stinging as well, because in order to operate I have to be without gloves. So I have to really do something about it. Actually, I'm gonna do is close a little bit. Oops, sorry. Close this a little bit more. This hand is guarded, and they have only 2 holes to go in and out. Hopefully the bees, there are actually 2 frames of bees in there, and they are in this part of the hive. First, you need healthy family, a healthy base. How you make healthy bees? Well, you feed them correctly. You don't take all the honey they have. You treat them for parasites, for disease, and you try to keep them from pests like this one. When you treat your hives correctly, this will happen. This hive, you see there are some guards on the top and the wasps are trying to get inside, but you know, they will be defeated. You see there are bees on the entrance. I reduced it a little bit because of the weather. And it will be very happy. And actually they feed the super or the magazine, depending on where you are. This bee family is healthy. It's 10 frame. They occupy about 9 of them. It's pretty narrow inside, but you know, it will be perfect for them because most of the bees are summer bees and they will die in a month or two. So you need the summer bees. Here we have another small hive. This one is around 4 frame hive. You see the deal here is somewhat similar. You know, I have some entrance reducer on the top, but the top one is open because these bees are tough. If wasps come in, they will push it out or kill it. Okay, let's go to a different hive. Let me just, you know, switch that camera. This one is very strong as well. It has a different kinds of mouse guards, which mouse guard actually is combined, and it can become entrance reducer. As reduce it to the center because you know the hive is actually in the middle. And you see there the guard bees, you know, checking who's getting inside. You see there is a little wasp there, yellow jacket. It's too afraid to go. It's right. Yeah, it hit under the hive. Ooh, they're bringing lots of pollen. Lots of pollen. Let me just see if it's safe to go near with one glove. Oh, they're bringing lots of pollen. You see there is an entrance on the top. Another important thing is hive ventilation. You know, bees don't die from cold. Keep that in mind. It doesn't matter where you are. In nature, no one wraps them in isolation, in black tar. No one is, giving them jackets, blankets, and so on. You just have to deal with nature. You have to follow nature. For example, here is a wood. Let me just show it. There is a wall. There are a few hives there. Nobody is helping them get through winter. What kills the bees, however, is humidity. And not just because they get wet, because from the part that they get wet, they also release heat quicker and they get diseases. One of these diseases is nosema, which is a problem with their digestive system. It's a fungi and it kills them. It's called in my country the silent killer, because for example you have very happy bees now, and if they have nosema or you let zero entrances, a lot of moisture, and the bees will die, and you wonder why. And the veterinarian comes and he says there are thousands of reasons: robbing, cold weather, moisture, nosema, varroa mites, and so on. But you must know that to keep in mind how to do this. You see, every beehive expert will tell you you need a top. It's not an entrance. There's only there can only pass air. Bees and wasps can't get through here. Maybe some tiny animals, but tiny insects, but no matter. And this is actually top exit for the air, because the air, let's see, it goes from below to the top. And what bees do in the winter is they generate heat. They generate a lot of heat to keep them warm, to keep the younglings, the unhatched brood warm. And what this does is, when on the top is snow or it's cold, it condenses. It's like you're in the car and you turn the air conditioner in the summer, the heater, and you see there is some kind of fog on the shield, on the front glass. And this is actually the same. However, imagine this for a few months, and when this accumulates, it starts to drop, and it drops down on the bees. They get wet, they get disease, they lose heat faster, and they die. So what we do with this is just have an entrance here, and we have the same entrance on the other side. Another thing is to keep the airflow. You know, some will say this is a bad idea, but you know, for years I have minimal losses for this. Is to keep a bottom screen board. What I mean bottom screen board is, let me check, below the board, below the hive. Oh, it's very narrow here. As you see, this is a net. This is screen board. Let me show it. When I prove this, I usually do it to check for, you know, certain diseases, to collect pollen. Oh, let me just put this here for a little bit on the ground. It's very hard to do it with one hand. So, okay. There's some bees. Oh, check this out. Oh, wasp. Try to get inside. Yellow jacket, she couldn't make it. So, this is the screen bottom board. This always brood cap, wax and pollen. I should clean this later. So there is another screen bottom board there, because when I pull this out, the bees don't fall out and don't run around like crazy. And I leave this all year. In the summer, you know, it keeps ventilation. In winter, that's the exact same thing. And no matter what someone tells you, bees will not die from cold alone. It doesn't matter. I had the beehive of 2 frames. You know, 2 frames are around a few thousand bees. And they made a cluster. They were ventilated good. They had food for the winter. They were protected, you know, from enemies. They were undisturbed. You know, I just checked them sometimes. And they were perfectly fine in spring. You know, they were weak, but a few months of good feeding, nectar and pollen flow, everything is great. Here we have exactly the same thing. Screen bottom board. It actually depends, depending on the strength of the hive. If you want it to be a full screen bottom board or half. For example, here we have something different. Yeah, there is also some yellow jackets that are victims. Look at this one. Yeah, this actually came. I was not aware when I bought it, but it doesn't matter. It was a bottom board which was solid, and you know, brood capping, some strips that were eaten, pollen. There are no mites actually, which is good. And I cut this one, as you see. It's made pretty bad, but you know, I had to do it fast. So with this, there is some flow. So cool dry air comes from below, goes up. Oops, sorry. Bees are messing with my camera. Goes up. There is an entrance here. Actually, I will reduce this one because the beehive actually now collects a lot of pollen. It gets some air from top entrance. It goes up, and as you see, this hive has almost exactly the same top from both sides. There is an exit, whoops, for the humid air. Let's put this one back. Having such a bottom board actually helps to check if you have some mites. It's not the perfect test, you know, but it does the trick. This one there, the weak hive, is also the same thing. Actually, it doesn't have a super, because you know, I want to limit the space that they're guarding and they're heating, because they were a few days. I got them a few days ago and I put them in the hive. So you know, important things. Entrance reducer. Let me show it. Let me jump to my exemplary hive, one of the best hives. Entrance reducer, which helps. You know, you need to have a mouse guard, yes, because mice they love such warm places and spend the winter. So you do this. You reduce the entrance. I will reduce it. You know, I will make it. You know, a little bit more clamped. You know, so the heat, you know, can't, you know, circulate so freely. Top entrance, I leave it open. There's no need to do this. And ventilation. Important to have ventilation. Don't insulate the hive. If you do it, it will keep a lot of moisture, and the bees, they can't keep their microclimate so well. So if you check other channels, the people that are trying the tar, wrapping the whole hive, it's okay to put something on top just to avoid snow melting and and getting some way in the hive. For example, if it drips down there, but it's very unlikely. And it's very unlikely. And you have to also tilt it. As you see it's a little bit tilted to the front. This what actually does when water accumulates here on the top, it drips on the front. So if there actually I have a board, somewhere here there is a board here. No, I'm not sorry, this is the super, so the board is somewhere here. And let me just open it and show you what I mean. One hand. Okay, so this is a feeder. It's completely empty. I feed it with sugar syrup, and the sugar syrup actually had some kind of additives, of organic material, like how is it called, different kind of plants, specialty for the bees, which help them with the nosema, different kind of diseases. And as you see, this board, it gets condensed from the bottom, and when it's with a little incline like this, or decline, it's not dripping on the bees on the center. It's starting to go the moisture on the left and drip in the front, and the bees will not be harmed with it. Another thing you'll notice is here there is an exit for the air. This is where they come and feed, and you see they're starting to fill it with propolis, but they're not filling it all, so they like to have an airflow. This is how you know that the bees know their job better than us. We're just here like to observe them and help them. So the air comes in, and they've limited some of the entrance. They don't want big entrance to lose a lot of air. You don't need to hyperventilate them, so to speak. You don't want to have a fan like burning from the top. And they have closed some of the entrance. And this is the top. Some can put some kind of insulation here, a thin layer, but there's no problem. This actually in the winter gets a little bit humid, but never drips. It never drips. And as you see, exit for the air, another exit for the air here. So let's put this back on. Let's see if we can do it with single hand. It's very hard, but yep. So let's summarize. First, strong bees. Feed them, give them some kind of biological additives. Whatever you feel like, just to get to increase the numbers. And you start doing it in July, August, and in the autumn you must have a solid population. It's not too late to start doing it there, like the first hive I showed you, because I captured it a few days ago. But it will be better if you have strong bees that can defend themselves from the yellow jackets and different kind of bees. Second, reduce the entrance. Mouse guard is definitely a must. Reduce the entrance. They may feel confused at first, but they will find their way in pretty easily. Leave the top entrance. Doesn't matter. Next thing, ventilation. Secure a ventilation that prevents humidity. Some will say, oops, a bee stung me. That's why you must not sit in front of the flight path. It's okay, it's okay. They love me, I love them. So, what I was saying, yes, ventilation, secure ventilation. Do not close the hive on the top. You need the humidity to go out. Do this and you're avoiding many disease and a lot of mortality in the winter. Next thing, feed them. You know, when we take the summer deposits of honey, they may have some kind of deposits of their own, but you know, we will help them with sugar and so on. In the next video I will show you how to feed your bees, you know, to make sure that they're having adequate, you know, feed throughout these winter months. Keep the hive clean. I haven't mentioned this, but as you see, you must you know, avoid having a lot of vegetation around the hives. It's elevated. This will help them, you know, avoiding moisture. Another thing, incline or decline, I'm not sure what I will say. Yes, you keep them at the angle, and the angle is to the front, to the entrance, not up. If you do it on the opposite side, you know, snow or rain will come from the entrance, and this is bad. This is bad. Bees love dry. So put in an angle into the front, and whatever drips from here or from inside the board, it will come out easily. So let's see how this one is doing. Yes, and some things I didn't mention. Try to disturb the bees as less as possible, as least as possible, if this is correct. Maintain a routine that each time you open the hive, you do at least 2 or 3 procedures. 2 or 3 procedures, what I mean, for example, if I open this hive, I will put some feed in it. I will treat for mites. I will check if the queen is laying, if the queen is happy, if all the bees are happy, if they have enough, you know, enough deposits of honey for the winter, if they have pollen, if they have brood, if the hive is actually having condensation or so on, if it's being attacked, and so on, and some treating, because when you open this hive, especially now when there is a little flow of nectar and pollen, it's very likely that when you pull out a frame, this frame smells perfect, and it smells of honey, it smells of pollen, and you will start robbing if you're not quick enough. So avoid dealing a lot with the frames, with the bees. This will, you know, prevent consequences, bad consequences. As you see here, I'm trying to put some entrance reducer mouse guard, and now I have to put the other part. This is a metal one. I don't really like this one, but you know, I'll get that one next time. Let's see what is happening during this video. It's from half an hour. Look what's happening here in the wasp trap, in the yellow jacket. Not sure if you can focus well, but there are a lot of wasps. There is a bee there trying to guard the entrance, but against this many numbers, it's very hard. So in next videos, we will discuss how to treat your bees, and by treatment, I mean you know, treating for varroa mites, of course. If you have you know, a especially high population of varroa mites, the hive will not survive the winter. Different kind of diseases like nosema, fungi, you know, different kind of problems, and you must take care of this before you winterize the hive, because once you do and the temperatures drops, it will be not advisory, you know, to open it as often as you like and do whatever manipulations you want. So keep in mind, each time you open a hive, you put it in its development 1 day behind. So I try to open them. If in the summer and in the spring I open the hive for, let's say, once per week, just to check what is going on. Now I do it every 10 or 14 days, and it's still not good, because when they open it, they have to close each gap, and these gaps with propolis, and you take from their precious time. So please let me in the comments if you want to discuss something more about the hives, how to prepare them. You know, in future video I will show you how to, you know, create some kind of food for them, final preparations for the winter, do we put sugar syrup or not, do we put some kind of insulation from inside or not, you know, these kinds of things. One thing I'm gonna show you, how that this weather is weird. So I am in Europe. Today is, what is today, 4th of October, I believe, and these are my pear, a pear tree. You know, the perfect pears. I must pick them. What I've seen is that the pear tree is flowering again. Take a look at that. It happens actually very rare, and there are a lot of, you see, a lot of clusters. The bees actually, they don't come here. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. As you see here, I must pick these pears. They're nearly ripe. So thank you for watching, guys. Let's hope this small hive endures the yellow jacket attack. But I think it's doing fine because we trapped a lot of them. Yeah, I'll show you how to make yellow jacket traps, wasp traps, and it doesn't matter if you have a beehive or not. If you have a yard like this one, they will definitely come and torment you. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and please stay tuned. Comment if you want to know something more, you know, or to have different kind of videos, you know, how to treat them, oxalic acid, some kind of essentials, you know, we can all cover it up. We just need time. So thank you for watching, and see you next time.